As for Brennan, a source briefed on the matter said CIA Director John Radcliffe had made a criminal referral of Brennan to the Justice Department. Exactly.
Okay, let me see. Let me do this real quick. We close this door, guys, and we'll be starting in just a minute. We start in just about 5 minutes, waiting on some more people to get here. I'll be right back, and then I'll be ready. Okay, let's go. Yeah, it's been a lot going on, especially about this Epstein stuff. People are starting to break ranks with Donald Trump over this Epstein file thing. And they was really upset about that Iran bombing too. They was very upset with that. And out of all people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, once Trump said that he don't need these type of people, Marjorie Taylor Greene went scorched earth. She's voting on the Epstein files no matter what he says. She wants him released. She's voting with Democrats with that. Listen to what she has to say in her own words. You know how crazy she can be.
Came out and pretty aggressively spoke out against Marjorie for this, correctly. So first, here's Marjorie.
You know, many people voted for President Trump for the campaign promise of no more foreign wars, and the United States getting out of involvement and funding. As a matter of fact, Al recalls, everyone should recall the Trump rally in Pickens, South Carolina. I went on the stage just before Lindsey Graham, and I said, no more funding, no more weapons to Ukraine. And the crowd cheered and cheered and cheered. And then following my speech, Lindsey Graham took the stage in his own hometown, in his own home county, in Pickens, South Carolina, and was booed for 6 minutes straight during his speech because he's been the #1 supporter of U.S. involvement.
I said this last time, but
Yeah, she's really going against Trump as far as these foreign wars and that Epstein list. You know, when the other day when Trump said he don't need these type of people, she got upset with that, and she's voting with Democrats to have the list released. But Virginia, I forgot her name, Virginia Fox. They had a late night vote, like in the middle of the night, where they the ones would have to take up the vote where it would pass and it would the vote for the Epstein files would occur. But they blocked it in the middle of the night, Virginia Fox, because she was over that committee that would have had allowed that bill to pass where we can get the Epstein files. But the Republicans blocked it in the middle of the night, and she's pissed.
it is one thing.
These people are these people are taking let me see let's go to what's his name I can't think of his name, the one that got Alex Jones. Alex Jones was literally crying He was literally crying because he knew he's been duped. That's what Trump always does. That's all he always do is con everybody. Certain people figuring out he's a con man now, which we told you he was. I mean, he's conned everybody pretty much out of everything. And if you notice how what is. No, I'm not a president. I know my vocabulary is not up to par, but his is on like a fifth grade level.
Trump clearly wants his.
Yeah. Here we go, Alex Jones.
Trip. He's had a lot of success and been through a lot. That he thinks he's invincible, and that we will all just go okay. But there's a taunting to it. I'm like, oh look, he makes the point that they could have altered the file. That's exactly what they do. They've done it to me. They've done it to him. Absolutely. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Wow, Laura Trump says they're going to make it right and release whatever they can. Great, let's move on. No. My constituents are bad for asking questions, the majority of them.
That's
And your
great.
statements about, you people that bring this up don't even deserve to be involved in this movement. You are excommunicata. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear, I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't.
That's Alex Jones saying he was never in his church. They're running for
Asking
him.
questions, majority of them. And your statements about, you people that bring this up don't even deserve to
They're
be
running for him, guys.
involved in this movement. You are excommunicata. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear, I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't excommunicate me because I was never in your church.
You
I was
wasn't.
never in a cult.
Now, that's a damn lie. Everybody know how Alex Jones damn near lost everything he had over Trump. Almost lost everything he had. So these people are lying. They know they've been duped. Even what's his name? Dan Bongino threatened to quit because they know they've been duped. I'm gonna tell you something. Don't believe the hype when Trump and Bondi talking about releasing the grand jury testimony. You can't release grand jury testimony. You can't do it. It's against the law. You can go ask any court judge, can you release the... They're just going to say no because it's against the law. You can't do it. If it was that simple, why don't Trump just declassify everything like he said he did the last time and then we get the files? Why is he running to a court judge now over releasing the files? You ain't been running to a judge because you know that judge is going to say no. We're never going to get the Epstein files. Trump can release them. He's using the DOJ for everything else. He just don't want to release them because he's in the files. He's definitely in the files. You can't get over that. You can't bypass that. And it's a video on Howard Stern that he even admits he's a predator. And it's like, you a predator with the women. He was like, yeah. So, I can't deny that. You said you would date your own daughter. You lust after your own daughter. Even in your first administration, General Kelly said that when Ivanka walked out one day, you said, what a nice piece of ass. And he said, that's your daughter, sir. And he kind of like shrugged his shoulder. That's what Kelly said, allegedly happened. But he said so many things about this girl. And we're going to get to that too about Trump and how he thinks about his daughter. He definitely wants to do something. I'm not going to say what that is, but I'm going to let somebody else speak on what that is. Let me find where it's at. I know what it's called. Just give me a second, guys, and I'll pull up that audio for you. And it's a whole compilation of how he feels about Ivanka. He has a problem with his daughter. And then, like I said, you having conversations with other men about how she looks and her figure. Who does that? I don't understand what kind of father you supposed to be. If you having conversations with Howard Stern about how beautiful your daughter is and how voluptuous she is, and one minute you're talking about you want to date her, and yeah, we know it. You're not talking about going out for ice cream, right? You're definitely not talking about that. Like Dollemore said, we all grown. We know what he means when he says that stuff. We know what he means when he says that stuff. The dude is a pervert. He's just as bad as Epstein. He's a serial cheater. He's just as bad as Epstein. And I can prove to you in hold on, let me see. I don't know if this is it. He might have got yeah, he might have got I think Dollemore had to take that video down. I'm pretty sure he did because it's not even in my feed anymore. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, this dude is sick. The way he talks about his daughter, and he lied and said, you know, they said he wrote Epstein a birthday 50th birthday like letter for his 50th birthday. He said he didn't do it, and they say he drew a letter like a naked woman with boobs or something like. They say I've never drew a day in my life. I don't draw. I don't draw women. But if you go in Trump Tower, he's got drawings and doodles that he made since the 90s. He's been doing that for a long time. Everybody knows that. Because he'll draw like a skyline or something, and then he'll auction it off and takes the money and give it to the food pantry. He used to do that too. So that was one thing Donald Trump did that was good. But he lied and said he doesn't draw, and he does.
Capital letters.
Okay, here we go.
Trump's serious. But he did, and now I'm going to sue his ass off. And that...
He is talking about Fox News and Rupert Murdoch. His best buddies. Now he's feuding with Fox News.
Remember that, because again...
Evidence.
We got...
Got receipts that he do draw. You can see it.
Doodle for Hunger, Capuchin Food Pantry. So, you don't draw, Donald Trump?
Yeah, let me rewind this so you can hear it.
So 6 years ago, April 23rd, 2019, a sketch Donald Trump made of the Manhattan skyline is up for auction, and you can see it here in the headline. Here's the image. The little image placard says, it's Donald Trump, you're fired, Doodle for Hunger, Capuchin Food Pantry. So, you don't draw, Donald Trump? You don't? And look, some of you, there might be some trolls in the audience that would say, well, that's the Washington Post. That's obviously fake news. There's no way Donald Trump has indicated that he draws or doodles other places, right? There's no way. Unless you go to this particular page in his 2010 book.
Yeah, he lies. He lies all the time. He even says it in his book that he likes to draw. But now, since it's an Epstein letter for his birth to his, on his birthday, and he drew a woman, he said he don't draw. But you do.
Never give up. Actually, it's not 2010. Just looked it up. It's actually 2008.
So even closer in proximity of time to the sketches drawn in the Epstein thing. But here's what he wrote in the 2008 book Never Give Up.
You know, we're gonna go back.
When they're dehydrated,
Let me get this
Pedialyte is
commercial off
great
real
for
quick.
them. Wait.
Yeah, Donald Trump is he likes his. He's very infatuated with Ivanka for some
Feeling
reason.
super hot or super not.
For some reason, like I said, he had conversations with Howard Stern about her looks, and he said one time he'll be dating her and all kinds of. So he's infatuated with his own damn daughter, and if that's not sick enough, and then you've been on Epstein Island and all this other crazy shit. So what do I believe? I believe you've done something
Maybe
wrong.
starting to pay attention
The way you talk
to
about your daughter, it's very clear you've done something wrong.
who you are. Because up to this point, they've ignored all of the
Yeah, listen to what he's done just in the past about his daughter.
red flags. All of the glaring sirens blaring into the evening of your predilections.
Yeah, your predatory.
How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to f his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, "Oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter," he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split.
Do you hear what he said? He doesn't mean that. Trump is talking about messing with his own daughter when he says statements like that. I would be dating her. Perhaps I would. Why would you date your own daughter? So you think you're turned on. You're very turned on by her. To even spew that shit out of your mouth. You are turned on by your own daughter, and to think you didn't do nothing with Epstein? If you talking like this about your daughter, you definitely did some bullshit with Epstein.
The glaring sirens blaring
They're
into the
they're fucking
evening
monsters,
of
all of
your
them.
predilections. How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to f his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, "Oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter," he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter.
Yeah, they put how can you, there's a compilation about how perverted you are against your, and I can't even talk because it's so nasty. And he's the president. This dude is a monster. Him and Epstein preyed on alleged. Well, I know Epstein did, but he allegedly did too because he was Epstein's best friend for 15 years. He's been on Epstein Island. They got Virginia Dupre, the one Epstein was accused of messing with, from Mar-a-Lago.
And I'm being crass because it's crass.
It's crazy.
Or a cityscape of skyscrapers. And then I sign my name. Yeah, you're dead to rights, Donald. We know. And the fortunate thing here is that MAGA world is finally maybe starting to pay attention to your character, who you are. Because up to this point,
yes,
they've ignored all of the red flags.
Yes, he would. You
all
better
of the
do
glaring
listen,
sirens blaring into the
let me tell you
evening
something.
of
Mr. Ozzy. He was definitely on the Lolita Express. He's in the first records that they released of Epstein in the trial. It shows Trump on the Lolita. He's been on that shit 20 times. It's a fact. You just Google it. Just Google that he has been on the Lolita Express. Him and Melania has been on the Lolita Express. He's been to Epstein Island more than 15 times. Yeah, I ain't worried about $16 million because I know I'm telling the truth.
your predilections. How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having.
Yeah. We know what he means. And look, he's going to say,
sex with.
no,
He doesn't
no.
mean-
He's going to say, like Ozzy said, if you don't know Ozzy, you don't know. Did he sue the guy who said he wears diapers and he shits on himself on an apprentice? Did he sue that guy? No, you never heard of it because he knew he would lose that case. The guy was the producer on The Apprentice and said Trump shits himself when he was on The Apprentice and they would have to wipe him down. What are you talking about? He hasn't got sued.
Going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
I guarantee you in the court of law that anybody, if he tried to come after anybody who says they're wrong for saying that he lusts after, he would lose that case because there's too much evidence to say he does. And then, like on this video right here, he smacks her on the ass, his own daughter. Yeah, Ozzy, I don't care about the 16 million George Stephanopoulos has been accused. It was like really all of the shit was moot. In New York, S assault is considered the same thing as grape. Like the grape, you know what I'm saying? Like grape juice. It's considered the same thing. But he said it the wrong way. And so they had to pay.
Here
But
is a
legally,
compilation
I would
from
have never
CNN
paid.
a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yet at times his fatherly praise is down.
Yeah, you don't grab your daughter around the waist like that.
In 2006.
Said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
So now, how can you call him not a pervert if he said that?
Yet at times his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what you are.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. I say this, a piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
That's great.
She's always been very voluptuous. She's tall, she's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a
You know,
feminist.
you
while the
describing her in all kind of ways, and it's just sickening. It's sickening.
Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
What the fuck did he just say? See, that's what I'm saying. So you can't say everybody calling this dude a pervert is not true. His own words make it true. Unless you guys talk to about your daughter with your friends at a bar like that too. Yeah, your daughter showed is growing up. Oh yeah, she developed.
Join me now?
Man, I'd slap the shit out of my best friend talking about my daughter like that. Maybe some of you guys in there are not men. Maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe half the people in here are not men. They let other men talk about their daughters in their face, how beautiful they are in their face. If my best friend start talking about how voluptuous my daughter is in front of me, that's the day we're not best friends. And I'm probably finna get ready to go to jail. That's my grandson. I'm probably finna get ready to go to jail after that. But to have Howard Stern, you and Howard Stern, oh, sorry about that. You and Howard Stern sitting up there talking about Ivanka's shape. She's a nice piece of ass, and you shouldn't have sitting up there having a conversation with another guy over how voluptuous your daughter is. You're sick. You know, let's listen to it again about how nasty this man is over his own daughter, how much he wants to. I can say it because the evidence is there because he said it.
How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to f his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've known my father obviously my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
Please welcome the lovely Ivanka.
We know that's a long
Still,
lie.
even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't really.
What the? This dude is nasty, man. I was gonna say I can relate to sex with my daughter. That's what you just said, Mr. President. And he's not on the Epstein files. When you say stuff like that in public, you're definitely on the Epstein files. You're definitely in it. Prince Andrew was in it. Yeah, Prince Andrew can't even come back to the United States because he was mixed up in that whole Epstein thing too. That's King Charles' little brother. He can't come to the United States. Yeah. It's bad, man. This is they're feuding. Marjorie Taylor Greene, out of all people, are going to vote with the Democrats to have those records released. But they got to get around. Virginia Fox blocked it late Friday night. Like while people were sleeping, they had some kind of hearing, and they blocked it. They blocked the Epstein files from being released. The Republicans did. You wouldn't know nothing about it unless you Google it because they didn't want the people to see it. Yeah.
Tensions are rising between Trump and his base,
Yeah.
and it has been hilarious to watch. So let's dive
in.
Watch Benny Johnson slowly try to process
Yeah,
this
MAGA
post
Benny
made by
Johnson.
Trump about Epstein.
He has
on
no
Truth
clue.
Social.
He knows.
Because he looks like he's in pain, and someone should probably check on him.
So President Trump has acknowledged that the Epstein files exist here. President Trump has acknowledged that the files were written.
And this is Benny Johnson. You know he's MAGA. You know, Benny Johnson is full
So let's
MAGA.
watch Benny Johnson slowly try to process this post made
Benny
by
Johnson
Trump
is
about
MAGA,
Epstein
and he's
on
going
Truth
against
Social.
Trump. You don't know what
Because
to
he looks like he's
expect.
in pain, and someone should probably check on him.
So President Trump has acknowledged that the Epstein files exist here. President Trump has acknowledged that the files were written and that there is something there. He says that they were written, however, by his enemies and therefore will not be released. Whoa, what? That's new in this entire zeitgeist. This is something that is wildly interesting. And then he goes all in on supporting Cash Patel and Pam Bondi. No mention of Dan Bongino, where all of this, again, was sort of transpired.
It's like, whoa, what? Like, what?
Yeah,
what
they don't know what to do. He know Trump lied to him.
Even things I don't like. Here's Candace Owens, who believes that NASA is satanic, doing her best to summon Captain Obvious.
What is happening now is it seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid, or, again, because I don't think he's pressing send on these messages, the people around him certainly think that Trump is stupid.
I mean, I can't speak for what Trump thinks.
Then Epstein brother thinks that Trump and Barr had something to do with his brother's death, allegedly. So it's been bad all the way around. Certain Republicans want the files released and certain ones don't. But if you're protecting children and you say you want to protect children, why wouldn't you release it and let everybody know and let everybody know who's who? And if you don't release them, then somebody that is going to incriminate. And who could that be? Maybe it's the best friend of Epstein for 15 years. Maybe that's the person who you don't want to incriminate. And it just came out today that Trump and the DOJ had 1,000 FBI personnel to scrub the Epstein files looking for Trump's name and to redact or delete anything in those files. 1,000-man personnel. And he is so pissed that came out today. Y'all doing some backdoor shit. What is 1,000 personnel doing looking for the name of one person? FBI personnel. Yeah, you want to hurry up and get that shit out of the records and out of the books. It's just crazy. Out of the records and out of the books. Trump knows who's on them files. He knows he's in them files. You gotta be. The way like I said, the way you talk about your own daughter, and the way you want to have sex with her, it's not even alleged. I don't even have to say allegedly. I don't even have to say allegedly because his own words say it's the truth. Dude is sick. But thank you everybody for getting ready to watch a movie. I appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. Thank you very much.